Hey guys, so I'm live again, and let's hope. I decided to try to tag people. I'm going to sit right here in this one spot and hope that I don't get kicked off again. I started a live around 1 o'clock. I was out driving. I went to go get gas and looking at the crazy gas prices. I said I was going to get home first and do this live, and of course I was kicked off. So the truth hurts, and that's the bottom line. And the reason I'm doing this live today is because I'm doing a march up in Albany, New York on October 26th. It's called the Million Mothers March. Millions of mothers, million mothers. We've discovered that there are over 65 million mothers, over 65 million mothers. And the reason I was able to research this out is because I've been advocating for families for over 14 years now. And in my discoveries, and many of you already know, in my discoveries, I have discovered that, family court, and I take fathers, I take mothers. Family court has been taking mothers, stripping them of their rights completely for several decades. I believe that it started out because it's typical and it's normal to, I'm actually private right now. It's just amazing. But anyway, I'll just keep going with the live, and then I'll just premiere it on YouTube. And you can see my YouTube channel here in the description. I will also link my TikTok channel because I can go live at length there. And here on Facebook, you can also, if you need to book a talk with me, you can do that in the description. If you'd like the book that I wrote, Punished for Protecting the Injustice System of Family Court, in which I am writing a sequel, Part 2, Punish No More and Free to Protect. And I Survived a Narcissist, you can too. Where I'm touching on the family court, of course, in both of those books. But anyway, I was trying to say before I was kicked off, and now I was made private. I'm going to go ahead and see if I can fix this while you guys are trying to hop on here. But when I checked it, it still said I was public until I hit live. As soon as I hit live, I became private. So let me just see what I can do to fix this. Let's see. It doesn't even give you an option to fix this. It doesn't even give you an option. It's just amazing. It doesn't even give you an option. So let me just try doing tag. I'll just try tagging a few people. I know you guys would be literally watching and you were waiting for this live, and here I am. It's just absolutely mind-blowing. Now I can't get rid of the tags. There we go. Well, okay. Well, let me get started anyway. So I'm sponsoring, I have here, I'm going to show you guys a little gift that I got today, and this is from Step-On Socks. I highly recommend you go to their website, in which I will have linked here for you guys to go to. And Step-On Socks, if you guys can see that. Step-On Socks. It's called Step-On, and this is silver. And the owner gave me this as a little gift, so very awesome. You guys can get your own little bag of silver. Very important to do that in this day and age. Another very patriotic group, and another situation that's going on, which I don't have information to. I don't have I'm not going to give you the information on that specifically yet, but eventually all of this stuff will be brought to the public's attention. So anyway, I'm Francesca Amato with Punish for Protecting Incorporated, and I'm doing a huge rally up in Albany at the state capitol on October 26th, and it's in the description. You can click the link and please hit that you're going. Do not make excuses for this. You have to be there. Okay, whether you're a mother that's been victimized by the family court or not, I'm going to explain to you why it's affecting you. I've been talking about this for a very long time. Hey, the fact that I'm private right now and I'm trying to be public, and Facebook turned me to private, says a lot to me. So this protest is going to be a march, a women's march, and it is called Million Mothers March. And we're touching on all kinds of things. So it's not just family court. However, it's family court judges that are making the orders, that are ordering mothers to stay away from their children. Listen to how serious this is. It is ordering mothers that are protective mothers. This is nothing new, that they cannot protect their children from abuse. It orders mothers to have their rights violated, their constitutional rights violated, both state and federal. and it orders mothers who are previous or current victims of abuse, whether it be assault, sexual, emotional, or financial abuse. And every mother that I work with that has had this happen to them, including myself, because I was retaliated by Judge Anthony Mcginty, all the media reports and so on and so forth, my book, my next book, etc., etc. These mothers have each, that I've worked with, and I'm talking about, I cannot count the amount, other than the fact that the research has proven over 65 million mothers have been affected by this over the past decade. Especially, it's gotten worse as time has gone on. Despite the science, social science research, despite the statistics, despite the genuine experts, okay, despite those that we can trust and respect, okay, us educating these people with all the domestic violence blue ribbons and all the nonsense that's out there, okay, and the yearly reports and the yearly meetings that they do, that we still have dead children, we still have abused children, we still have abused women and children. And I'm not lessening the fact that there are abused men out there. What I'm saying is, to all you good fathers out there that protect women and children and believe in old school protecting women and children, come join us, because it will affect you in a positive way if you support and protect women and children, okay? Years ago, and if you watch the Titanic, they talked about first the women and children to be rescued first. You see, there's an order, there's a proper order, and there's supposed to be, you know, the lesser, the weaker gender. And so anyway, without delving too deeply in that, please come. We will have buses out of New York, and we're going to try to get some buses coming up from north and east of the New York State. But we need you guys there on October 26th. Now, I'm going to talk about how this is relative to all the other topics that I'm going to explain. You see, if you're a homeschool mother and you work with homeschooling groups, and a judge orders you that you cannot homeschool your kids, and they make up nonsense. You didn't socialize. I laugh at that one, because you didn't socialize. I'm the most social person probably out there. And my son, for example, is highly intelligent, very articulate, you know, not afraid to speak his mind, kind of kid. And he's one example of numerous volumes of children who's homeschooled, and they're highly intelligent. One of my very close and dear friends, she's a teacher, an educator. She's been a teacher for years, and she homeschooled all of her kids, and they all have successful marriages. They have successful jobs and successful businesses. They're all pillars of their community, okay? Assets to the earth, okay? And I know many like that. Also, children that are homeschooled, high-ranking colleges want these kind of kids, not only because of their learning style and their learning ability and the fact that they are advanced many times, but because they've learned a moral foundation. And a lot of times children in certain public schools, and if that's your choice, I support you. If your choice is public school, if your choice is private school, if your choice is homeschool, I support you. And these are your rights. And this invasion and encroaching in on your rights is a big problem. And it is very relative to family court judges. And so even though we target specific family court judges to take them down and remove them, in reality, we want to target all of them, because they're all disaster and they're all harming our families. So this is one aspect, and why it's relative. And so, yes, we're going after Mcginty. We're also going after, McGuire was removed from the bench, and Watson is being looked at now heavily, and Zimmerman and Brown and nationwide family court judges. Okay. And I can name a list and just keep naming and naming Greenberg and Lavallo, and the list just goes on, and they're horrifically horrible and bad decisions, intentional infliction of harm, and intentional money-making scam. The other issue right now that's the hottest topic on the planet right now is the forced COVID vaccination. You see, when I've been telling you for the past few years how these family courts have to come down, if you foresaw into the future, you would have seen that this was happening with this pandemic, and no one's denying that it's a pandemic or was a pandemic, and no one's denying that it's not that there was a virus or what have you. No one's denying that. No one, just that some of us actually have a brain enough to understand and believe that and know that this was very much put out there, man-made. Okay, and if you just did some research again, you'd see that I'm talking reality here, intelligence, real science. And so you'd understand that these mandates forcing a vaccine into the bodies of children and the elderly and everything in between, and medical doctors that agree with me, and medical doctors and holistic practitioners that agree with me and talk about this together, are saying they're overwhelmed with the amount of either A, extremely sick people, physically ill, physically pained, aneurysms, blood clots, death. This is not good. It doesn't take much brain capacity to see that something is very wrong. They're telling you right now that it's the weather that's keeping all these airlines shut down. But we've discovered that it's more than that. It's actually those that don't want to be vaccinated. And we should really stop and pause for a minute instead of insulting people, telling them that it's rhetoric when you talk about something like this, which is an insult, number one. It's disparaging. And it can be discriminatory as well. I'm an ADA advocate. It's also lacking in intelligence. It's lacking in professionalism to not be able to have the ability to communicate properly. And how this is all tied together. If you're going after the family court and you're going after a specific judge or any judges for that matter, then you need to know that this is all relative. You can't just go and say, I want this handled and not realize the damages that they're doing to families. I've witnessed this for 14 years and I've looked at every aspect of this industry. Child trafficking industry is what it is. Family and child trafficking industry. So that is the reason I'm saying it's not guns or bombs that are going to stop this. Okay, that'll be more destruction. But it's 65 million mothers that are pissed off. And you need to be there that day. Take off work. I've laid down and sacrificed my life, everything about me, for this very thing and this very day. And many people I know are doing the same. And so if you really want to help and you really want to fight this and you feel called by God or whatever, you feel it in your gut. You feel that you should do something. You're concerned for your children's future. You're concerned for your grandchildren's future. You're concerned for your nephews and your nieces' future. You're concerned about your neighbor's future. You're concerned about your future. You're concerned about the state of New York and the state that it's in. And people are coming out in droves all over Manhattan. I'm so proud to see it as a New Yorker, to see people come together and fight. Because you see, it's an ultimate cause. And we are those people. We are not just these people. We are those people. It is a broad invasion of privacy. It is a broad invasion of your rights. It is a broad invasion of the inside of your home, your heart, your mind, everything that you hold dear. Your own decision-making process is being violated. When a parent can't go to a second opinion on a doctor to evaluate what's going on and find out if something's wrong with the child or not. I mean, kids have been taken for having a fever, for heaven's sake, or Cheerios on the floor. When there's kids in dire abuse and they're still sitting in limbo and no one's doing anything about it. And court dates kept getting pushed out and pushed out. We have to go after the whole system. And we need to bring people with common sense, a moral fiber, a moral code, and a set of kahunas that are going to change what's happening. And you got to get rid of the evil first in order to build. Or actually, no, you can build something good and get rid of it that way. But no matter which direction you go, you have to get rid of the evil part of it. It has to go. So please, guys, understand that this all works together. When you're right, when you don't have the right to choose, your free will, and I'm not talking about murder, I'm talking about life. You don't have the right to choose life, but you have the right to choose murder. Think about that. Use logic. Try, pray, ask God, ask, other moral people that you can fellowship among. if I'm wrong or right about this and how important this is and the urgency behind that we need to come from all over the state of New York, and you guys can come from other states and come join us. Stand together in solidarity. And also, when we change it here in New York, we change it for the nation. Other states are saying no, no. And New York State, just say no. Remember the slogan? Say no to forced mandates. Say no. We're not telling you not to get the vaccine. If that's what you want to do, go for it. Go for it. I've always laughed at that. First of all, I actually study and see the difference. I see from my sister, who's an expert holistic practitioner, I see the difference in her healthy clients and her ones that are not healthy. I see when she knows how to reverse any manner of sickness and disease. So I'm going to watch that and the longevity behind it compared to people with pill bottles and sickness and illness and constant, what have you. And I'm not saying there's not a time and a place for the medical profession. I've never said that. Don't put words in people's mouths because you cannot hear everything. Okay? You have to look at, we're supposed to be more intelligent as time goes on, not less intelligent. And if you're the kind of person that just wants to believe whatever you hear and do whatever you think, or if somebody has a different of opinion, they're crazy or they're selfish. I mean, it's ignorant. It's ignorant. Absolutely ignorant. New disease comes along, new vaccine comes along, boom, we're all just going to follow like sheeple. And we're the ones that are ignorant? Think again, and it is not rhetoric by any means. It's actually thought out and intelligent to not harm yourself or your children, or to not be forced to, okay? Read the ingredients. People that are commenting once this is public again, because obviously I'm locked out, even though I tagged a whole slew of people, and I'm sure that my entire description has been removed too, which I'm going to have to re-add now. But anyway, the people that have done the research and know the difference between ivermectin and things that actually cure, you got to ask yourself, why are people not allowed to get what's going to heal them? Why is raw milk, and people go, oh, because you could get sick. Really? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Has anybody ever seen what the FDA has approved throughout history, or the drugs that have been recalled after they were approved? People, what did you go to school for? And I don't even mean college. What did you go to school for? You learned to think. You went to school so you could learn to think, correct? Use it. Thank you.